What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to 2 Cents FC. I'm your host, Mobi Okugo, with my guy, L. Each week, we'll be discussing topics from around the soccer world, and I'll be giving my thoughts from the perspective of a pro soccer player. This week, we'll be discussing NWSL news. Life in the MLS is back bubble, and 2 American coaches doing big things across the pond. L, it's been a jam-packed week. You know, we've come out with new content, story time, free kicks, no card, yellow card. So make sure you guys subscribe, make sure you guys follow, share with a friend, because we're coming at you live and direct each week. But with that being said, El, start us off.
All right, cool. So we get right into it. NWSL Challenge Cup is out. So it's a big week in women's soccer. We have the NWSL Challenge Cup kicked off to an emotional start with displays of solidarity for Black Lives Matter. And it's all behind a paywall. The league is also allowing the players to stay in the locker room during the playing of the national anthem. So NWSL Commissioner Lisa Baird says, we're going to continue to play the national anthem, but with even more flexibility and support each player's right to express their individual views or not. The NWSL stands behind every player, official and staff member, and their right to kneel on the field or stand with their hand over their heart and honor their feelings in the privacy of the locker room or at midfield. Also, we want to see how the tournament's doing overall. So from the coverage standpoint, are the games being broadcast? The games are being broadcasted behind a paywall. So is that a good thing or a bad thing? Also internationally, Real Madrid announces its women's team to begin play in 2020 and 2021. So how will one of the largest teams / brands in the world football entry into women's football affect the overall growth of the game?
No, I think I want to start off with the Real Madrid talk. I think it's long overdue that, Real Madrid, one of the biggest, not only soccer franchises or, clubs in the world, but biggest sports clubs in the world, for them to have a women's team. I think it's not only great for the sport, great for exposure, but it's something that needed to happen. They have a lot of influence in the sense of pushing fans to follow soccer, follow sports. Real Madrid is one of the teams you go to and your value just skyrockets, no matter if you go there to play or not. So for them to, grow the game through establishing a women's soccer team, a women's soccer culture, a women's soccer ecosystem, I think it's going to be amazing for the cause.
Yeah, that's definitely huge. I wonder how many NWSL players that jump ship over to Europe now. I don't know if the European clubs on the women's side have the same weight as on the men's side. Mm-hmm. So I'm wondering if the NWSL teams the big teams in the world for women versus the European teams.
So France, they don't play Lyon, PSG. And now you got the EPL that's investing a lot more into the women's game. There's a lot of NWSL players that would rather play over there. So I know one of the famous players, Lindsey Horan. She started out at PSG before she came back. Obviously playing away from home over the course of how many years kind of gets taxing, but those European teams, they really investing in the game, and you can see it when you get into the international games now too. U.S. women's national team, although they still dominate, it's a lot harder than it was in prior years. France is doing a lot of good things. Sweden, England, these teams in Europe are getting a lot better because that just shows the more money that you invest, the more resources that these women have in the sport, and the better they're going to be. So from my perspective, at least from the outside looking in, I think some of these European teams, especially now Real Madrid's going to get involved, NWSL is going to have a lot more competition.
Yeah, they're definitely going to have to expand. And I know they are actually with Louisville coming in, Sacramento coming in.
AFC potentially coming in.
Yeah. So
yeah, it's going to be really interesting.
So speaking of NWSL, so have you been following the Challenge Cup?
To be honest, I haven't been following it as much as I would like, but I did see the clip of the two players consoling each other.
Yeah, it was Casey Short and Julie Ertz.
Yeah, so that was really touching. There was a lot of blowback on one of the games because there was a player that stood up while the rest of the team was kneeling, but it was later reported that she did end up kneeling, but just not at a unique time because she has her feelings towards everything as well. So I'm really interested to see how this new method goes when it comes to the national anthem protocol, because everyone, whether you support the cause or not, everyone has their own way of doing things. So just because someone may be standing up doesn't mean they don't support the cause. And sometimes someone that may be kneeling is completely against it. They just don't want to have the flag. So,
Right.
So for them to have, yeah, people ain't peep game on that one. But I feel like for them to like give everyone the freedom to choose, I think it's going to be a lot better approach.
Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah, I think like I don't know her name, but she was getting a lot of blowback, and a lot of it was for that touching hand on the shoulder,
Yeah,
type thing, that light touch on the shoulder.
yeah.
There was a lot of stuff on Twitter, like a lot of jokes on Twitter about it. I can't think of like a single one right now, but yeah, I thought that was funny. Like, I don't think people should be crucified for standing. Obviously, I'm down for kneeling. If I was out there, I would be kneeling. But we gotta stop crucifying people for like not agreeing with the status quo, or not agreeing with your beliefs. You know what I'm saying?
No, yeah, I feel you on that. And it's like people are like have been discussing like they should just not even play the national anthem. I know Alexi Lala's got a lot of flack for what he tweeted. Taylor Troman had some input. So it's really interesting because a lot of people like are watching. They don't know what they would do if they were playing. And I like what the commissioner did to just put it back in the players' hands in terms of like you can decide how you want to go about it. Twitter's Twitter, like anybody can get jokes. Like as you know, like nobody's safe on Twitter, so you just got to do what you want to do. Yeah, we can get these jokes off. We might not even mean it. We just need to get these jokes off. That's just Twitter in its entirety.
Yeah, so that's the women, but the men are coming back this week as well. So MLS is on the way back, and there's trouble in the bubble already. So
this is
the bubble is far really from the happiest place on earth, as Disney World is described.
It's bad news. So are you following that Twitter page? What's it? MLS is back.
Yeah. The COVID Cup. That's what it's called.
The COVID Cup.
MLS COVID Cup. Yeah. So
give the context. Like someone, I don't know who it is. I have guesses to who it might be, but someone is just exposing everything that's going wrong in this bubble environment.
Yeah. So for those not familiar, a little quick rundown. So all the MLS players they're on Disney's Wild World of Sports campus, and they're in a bubble. And it's just crazy. It's like the Fire Fest out there. So they got exorbitant prices for food with Fire Fest style meals. So like there's been pictures on Twitter of like struggle sandwiches and stuff like that. Hotel room malfunctions, like
things going haywire.
Things flying off. Yeah, crazy. And COVID cases popping up daily, already causing the league to push back and reschedule matches. Players are expressing their concerns with the conditions that they have to operate in. They can't focus on football because they're worried about staying healthy. So like CJ Sapong for Chicago, he tweeted like, man, shout out to my fellow players in MLS. If you all knew what was really going down here, I'm positive the shut up and kick, I do it for the paycheck notions would quickly dissipate during this strain. Exactly why we're more than an athlete, hashtag. And also there's another tweet from Diego Rubio. He plays for Colorado.
Yeah.
And I think it was a screenshot of a note. He says, hearing from a player in the bubble that their team is supposed to be quarantined since they got a positive test, but there's no one delivering meals to their room, which is supposed to be the protocol. So they have to go down to the meal room, get on elevators, and bring the meal back, telling other players be careful with the surfaces and use extra hand sanitizer. We were supposed to go there and just think about soccer, and now we have all these problems. How are we going to play thinking that? How are we going to play thinking that it's dangerous to go outside your room? What are our families going to think with all this? So
Yeah, it's wild.
a lot of players are starting to second guess this whole thing.
Yeah, it's like it's wild times right now. Like this group chats I'm in are going crazy. I'm not even going to like try to snitch or anything, but like people are really worried about what's going on, and it's really interesting to see, you know, like the shift, because obviously there was like some drawback to actually it happening, and then now they like were able to agree to terms, and then now that it's actually happening and people are there and all the protocols, and like this COVID thing is serious. It's not something that you can just, you know, put under the rug. So now it's like you can like feel it. It's tangible. Like your teammate's sick, or someone that you're about to play on the schedule is like sick. Like Dallas has like 8 cases, like half their team is sick. So now everything's pushed back. So now that it's tangible and people are actually realizing, like, not only I'm doing this, like risking my health, I'm away from my family and all these other factors, like let's just call it what it is and like try again next time. But once again, money talks. There's a lot of other factors at play here that everyone understands. Yeah, that TV deal is, you know, something serious. So it's interesting. What do you think? Like, because I feel like these other leagues have been doing it the right way, and like,
yeah, I don't know how they're doing it in Europe. I don't know how they're doing it in Germany and in the UK, but there has to be some way to do it here. Like, we have the same amount of teams, or we have just as many teams as they have, you know, in the Premier League, and they're able to make it happen with like little to limited blowback. So I'm not understanding what the issue is or what the logistical issues are with, you know, allowing people to play in their own markets, and, you know, just having closed door games in their own markets versus this bubble situation. I know I mentioned like an episode back that, you know, I trusted the league, but seeing this, I don't know. Like, it's kind of suspect, right? Like,
yeah.
I don't know.
Why did they have for the hub models? Like, they could have just had like 2 to 3 hubs. Like, all right, you know, you have Southwest region, West Coast region, and then like a Northeast region, and then Midwest, and just like kind of break it down. I know obviously ESPN is a big sponsor, a big partner with MLS, so using Disney probably lessens the blowback. But you see in Germany, like, they're done with their league. Nothing crazy actually happened in the sense of like safety issues. Protocol was put in place. I mean, even Jadon Sancho, we talked about it on one of the earlier episodes, like he got fined for having a barber. Like they were not playing around. England's thriving, La Liga's thriving, all these other leagues are thriving in the sense of like just the protocol and the procedures. And MLS like hasn't even started yet. And it's like, okay, are we gonna have to postpone? Are we doing this? Like, there's a lot of things going on that people just don't know. Like CJ said, like behind the scenes, like there's a lot of things going on.
Yeah, I can't call it, man.
It's real interesting. It's like, yeah, because like what happens when one case like spreads to the whole team, like Dallas, like Orlando with the NWSL, they had to back out of the whole tournament. So what if that happens, like, for example, Dallas, and then now the whole group of how they structured it just shifted around.
I wonder how many of these positive tests were like asymptomatic or like non-symptomatic. So, you know, you hate to be dangerous and reckless. It's like, he doesn't even have any symptoms, you know, let him play. Yeah. But you know, we want to always, you know, safety first.
Exactly. But yeah, it should be interesting. I just hope like there's no like, you know, there's always like that one case that like kind of changes it. I just don't want that to happen. Hopefully, you know, the right protocols are in place and everyone can get through it. Not even from just MLS, but NWSL, USL, all the American sports leagues that are about to come back. I think it's really important that we don't have kind of like that. I don't want to say like sacrificial lamb, but like that one case that kind of like just like, yo, this is what we were talking about. It's serious, So hopefully that doesn't happen, and prayers for everyone to keep safe and be precautious of what's going on. But it's just really interesting, and I know a lot of players are feeling the same way in terms of the safety of their families, safeties on themselves, and the risk that they're putting themselves through, playing soccer for the MLS's back tournament.
Right. You mentioned the other leagues, Germany being done. Another league that's wrapped up in Europe is the Austrian league. And Jesse Marsch, who's an American coach out there for RB Salzburg, won. They won the Austrian championship, and he's coach of the season. So there's also another American coach, Pellegrino Matarazzo, who got Stuttgart promoted back into the Bundesliga. So we got some American coaches over there making moves. What do you think about that, man?
No, I think it's amazing. I mean, I know Jesse Marsch personally. I had the chance to, train with his club when he was coaching at New York Red Bulls. And like, he's one of the best American coaches there is. I never got to play for him personally, but like understanding like his methods, understanding like what his players say about him. Like he got next up, and he's part of the Red Bull family, so they're grooming him. They're grooming him. Like they took him from New York. Yeah, they took him from New York to Germany. They gave him the Austrian club, so like you can see like they know he got next up, and he's proven it time and time again. He revamped New York Red Bulls, got him to play a style that the Red Bull system likes: high press, counter, really aggressive. He did his thing with Leipzig as an assistant coach, just learning the ropes. Now they gave him the reins with this Austrian team, and they not only became champions, but they was doing their thing in Champions League too. It was no slouch. They played against Liverpool. They held their own. He got coach of the season. Like it was a highly rewarding season for him. People are talking about him being the next candidate for U.S. men's national team, but like me personally, it's like, what's the point? He's like doing it in Europe. So the U.S. national team, that stuff's always going to be there. He can always get that. You might as well try to get like a big club, like Champions League type, and get the bag, because he's a great example for other American coaches like Pellegrino Matarazzo, someone I don't really know about. I think he was in Europe a lot longer in the sense of like he got there early, got his coaching badges over there. But for him to take a historic club like Stuttgart to Bundesliga, like that's no slouch. And it just shows that American coaches, not only American players, like they can really do it. It's just taking advantage of your opportunity and taking that chance too, because a lot of American coaches don't have that luxury of being able to take that chance when it comes. Bob Bradley did it with Swansea City. He was fired within a month. But how many guys can say they coached the EPL club? Like those are the chances that you got to take. And as a coach, obviously it's a lot of travel, a lot of like yeses and nos. Like you never know when you're going to get fired, but coaches got to be willing to take that chance if they want to be able to, have that opportunity across the pond. So what are your thoughts?
Yeah, I agree, man. Like I would love to see even more American coaches get the opportunity to come over. Yeah. Especially American coaches of color. Like you don't see that at all.
Facts.
In Europe, you know what I'm saying? Like there's not a lot. So
which American coach you think like could do it, like could go over there like now from MLS or like anyone that you know personally?
I think Bob Bradley could go back.
Yeah, I like that shout.
I think what he's done with LAFC, he still hasn't gotten them over the hump just yet, but I think he's built a system, and I think he can go back and possibly, with given more time and resources, take over a team and be successful with them.
I think he would go back. He would just change. Like he was like, "Yo, I need 3 years for sure, like guaranteed." Because I mean, it's hard to leave LAFC now. Like he got the setup. He, king of the city when it comes to soccer. But I think he's like the type of guy that is hungry in the sense of like always wanting to do more from a soccer standpoint. That he would go back if there's like a unique opportunity. And I think it's going to happen too. I think one of these American private equity firms that buys up a club is to be like, yo, we like your style. We need you to do what you do there over here. And he'll do it. I mean, he needs to get that cup with LAFC. I'm not saying he needs to, but I think that's like one checklist he wants before he thinks about the next adventure or next journey.
Yeah. I think he'll be at LAFC kind of long term.
Yeah.
So,
it's LA.
But if he does leave, I think they definitely grab a Mexican coach.
Oh yeah, for sure. Like yeah, for sure. Like who's the coach of Tigres? Who's the coach? What's his name? He coaches Tigres right now, or Club America. One of those coaches.
Club America, Miguel Herrera.
Yeah, that would. If I'm at LAFC, I give him the bag, and just let him rock out.
The character too.
Yeah, you need that. I'm trying to think of young American coaches that would do. He's not young, but Peter Vermees would do well on the European club if they gave him control. I'm trying to think who else. There's not really that many young guys that I don't think that would take that chance. Jim Curtin, Philly, he could. Oh, my fault. Mark Vanny from Toronto. I think he could do a job. Like he played over there. He's dealt with like top talent, and he knows how to like adjust his system to make things work. I think if there was like a coach or like a club that can make a move for an American coach, I would go Mark Vanny, then Jim Curtin, and then that's it for now. Oh, then Peter Vermees, yeah. But Peter Vermees is a little bit older, and he the king of Kansas City, so I don't think he's gonna leave.
Yeah, now he's solidified out there.
Yeah, yeah, that's it for me. Would you be a coach?
No.
Yeah, I can't do that coaching stuff.
No. So let's jump right into no card, yellow card, red card. So those who are not familiar with the segment, it's a rapid fire segment that we have on the show where we get, your opinion, Amobi's opinion, sometimes my opinion on some minor topics that are worth noting. So first one, no card, yellow card, red card. A Coutinho and Griezmann swap for Neymar.
I'm doing that for sure. No card. Barca got to do that. PSG got to do that. Yeah, no card for sure. I think that needs to happen.
Okay, so you think the two of them equal Neymar in value as a straight swap?
Yes and no. I think Neymar's value to Barca, especially with where they're at now, they need someone that's going to bring some like excitement to Barcelona. Like you have Messi, but he's like 33, 34. You don't have like that next guy. Like who got that next guy that guy's next up? Coutinho, I mean, they're good, they're serviceable, but he's been out on loan. Griezmann, he hasn't adjusted well.
Boy. Ansu Fati, man, like
just you got him.
He just
but he's not going
to go.
He's not
over there.
He's not week in, week out yet, and then PSG.
You gotta get out the way, man.
Yeah.
You gotta get out the way so my boy can get on.
Yeah, there's some players you just gonna have to wait your turn. Messi's one of those guys. And then PSG, like with where they're at, like they missed their Champions League window. So you get Coutinho, get Griezmann to come back home with France. French club. Him and Mbappe can do their thing until Mbappe goes to Real Madrid and be done with it. Yeah, I think if I'm Barca, I try to make that happen.
Yeah, we'll see. So let's go to the next one. No card, yellow card, red card. So speaking of Barca, Messi halts his contract talks.
Yeah, for me, it's a red card on Barca. Like they're in shambles. Their front office, like their executive staff, it's like a power struggle. And Messi's the best thing that's happened to you in the last 50 years. So whatever he wants, not at the expense of like the downfall of your team, but you got to make it happen. So for him to halt contract renewal talks, and I know this has happened before, just they want to like it's just negotiating plays. You just got to make sure you don't fumble the bag, because right now it's not looking like, if you look at the like next 5-year timeline, Barca's not. Messi's been saving you guys. Real Madrid has young talent in the works, ready. Atletico Madrid gets stronger and stronger by the year. And then you got these formidable clubs like, Villarreal, Valencia. Let me not say Villarreal. Valencia, Sevilla, Athletic Bilbao that are like, putting more dollars into it and, doing a lot of good things. So Barca really needs to do something. They need to revamp some things, and you got to keep Messi at the forefront, and you got to keep Messi happy.
Man, it's a Messi to Miami watch now.
Messi not going to Miami, not yet. Messi is not even like that. Messi will stay at Barca and then end up in Argentina. He might retire for like a little bit and then come back to US for like the bag, or like China. He's just like
straight to Argentina from Barca.
Yeah, he goes straight to Argentina from Barca.
Straight to old boys.
Yeah, him, Aguero. They give probably one of their other boys. If anyone like from Argentina is coming to MLS, I'd go Angel Di Maria. I think he just has that in him. He's not really like marketable, but he would be a baller. And
that's why I see Messi getting that one last big bag in Miami. It's a quick flight to Argentina from Miami, a lot shorter than Barcelona to Miami. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
on the beach, bring his boy Luis Suarez with him. And
if Luis Suarez comes to MLS, Luis Suarez is coming to MLS. I know that for sure. If he can convince Messi, I just don't think Messi is like that marketable guy that will do it. Like, he don't want the cameras all up on him every week. He might go to like Japan or China.
So that doesn't happen. That doesn't happen in Barca right now. Like, cameras all over the place.
It does, but it doesn't. Like, you don't see him doing like that many like commercials or interviews. Like, he doesn't even speak English like that.
Yeah, but I mean, like, if he goes to MLS, he doesn't have to be marketable. Like, it's just Messi in MLS, period. Like, he doesn't have to be like the poster.
He does, though. He does, bro. Because when I was like in Orlando, I played with Kaká, and obviously he's like marketable. He knows how to like be in front of a camera. He does a great job of that. Like, the amount of stuff that he had to do, and like you could tell sometimes he just didn't want to do it. But it's like, it's almost like pre-written in your contract. Like, yo, obviously you're a big star. Like, we're going to be expecting a lot of
carry the league a little bit.
Exactly. So like Cristiano, like, easy, he could do that. Like, you can see it. Like, he's marketable. He speaks English.
MLS.
Cristiano got to get a serious bag for him to come.
He got to get a Beckham deal.
Exactly. He got to get a Beckham ownership type deal. Messi, I just don't see it in him. It depends what team, like a Miami, maybe like a LA, but that's not. I can see him going to like Japan or China, like Iniesta, play like 1 year, get the bag, go to Argentina. But I see him going on Barca, Argentina, retiring, coming out of retirement for like a bag, and then call it quits.
I think if he goes to Argentina, he's not coming back.
Yeah, he's just chilling, right?
Chilling on the beach. It's over.
Yeah. So yeah, it's interesting because like you feel like you know him, like he's a family guy, like he's probably like quiet but funny, but you don't really like see him like out there,
Yeah, that's the thing though. I don't know much about Messi.
Yeah.
Other than he's arguably like the greatest player of all time. Like, I don't know anything else about him. Like, I know about CR7.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I just don't see that. I just don't see that in him. Like, I see Griezmann. I mean, he's already talked about he's coming to MLS. I see a Benzema coming to MLS. I can see like those type of players, CR7, but not a Messi. I don't think he has that in him.
Yeah.
So it should be interesting. Is that the last
no
one?
card, yellow card, red card. Dortmund playing hardball with Man United over Jadon Sancho.
Yeah, it's interesting because, I mean, that's Dortmund's model, right? Buy low, sell high. But for some reason, Man United hasn't been able to get a player from them for quite some time. I don't know why Dortmund doesn't want. Maybe they haven't reached the terms, or maybe they just want to drive up his value. But it's not like.
I think Man U was offering like 50 mil, and they're like, no, we want.
Oh yeah.
Like, you know,
Man United got to come up with some money, or like maybe like sell like a couple players like as like a buyback. Like here, you guys take Martial and we give you 50, and like let us get Sancho type. You can't just expect to go 50 and like, that's not gonna work out.
So what card you giving them?
Oh yeah, my bad. I'm gonna give him a yellow card because Man United is kind of disrespectful in that price tag offer. Dortmund, okay. Yeah, they're cool. Like we'll keep Dortmund. We'll keep him here. We know someone's gonna pay.
Yeah. Oh. All right. Let's see. No card, yellow card, red card. Weston McKennie is rumored to be leaving Schalke.
I'll give it a yellow card because I mean both. I feel like this goes both ways because I feel like Schalke hasn't done what they said they're going to do in the sense of like just having some structure to their organization. You know, they've been changing coaches. They've been, up and down. And McKennie, with where he's at now, he's established. His price tag's 20 to 25 million. I had no idea it was that high. So he's like one of them guys. So for him to really take that next leap of development and next leap of, him becoming the player that he thinks or he knows he can be, he might need to go to a bigger club. There's already rumors, Hertha Berlin, Wolfsburg. Wolfsburg got money like crazy right now. Some teams across other leagues that really want his talents. So I think he should definitely be open to it. I'm not sure. I'm not sure if he should be focusing on trying to go to like a bigger team, like a Chelsea. I don't think he's there yet, like a Pulisic. I just feel like he needs to focus on, making sure he's continuing to get a lot of minutes for a club that's going to be in high competition. So Schalke gives him that right now, at least in the Bundesliga.
What about Leipzig?
Ooh, Leipzig.
Is
that a rumor?
He plays a what position does he play?
Him and Tyler in the middle?
Defensive mid.
Him and Tyler in the middle? Or is that a rumor for real?
No, I'm just throwing. I'm thinking about clubs who are like in contention, but like he could possibly get playing time. Like I don't see him going to Dortmund and getting PT like that. It's not happening at Bayern. So
yeah, he's not. Yeah.
I'm not super familiar with Bundesliga, so I don't know. Like below those three, I don't know what other clubs are like good or like competing like that.
I don't think Leipzig need him right now. They really stacked, and like they got Tyler Adams there. I would love for him and Tyler to play together. I think that would be cool. Like for them to get that, like them as two like deep line eights, like going covering for each other, going like that's going to be a hard midfield to crack, and for them to get more repetition. Selfishly, as a U.S. men's national team fan, that's cool. Yeah. But I don't even think Leipzig likes his game like that. I don't think he fits their system. But the teams that are looking at him, Wolfsburg, I could see it happening. Hertha Berlin got money, and they're looking to revamp. They're looking to revamp their organization. If he goes to like an England, it's like where does he go?
Mid-table.
Yeah, he's gonna have to go mid-table Premier League, and it's like Newcastle gonna have money too to spend. I really like it. I think he's
I can see him like in the Prem going to like Everton or some shit. Like
I think Everton actually was a rumor. I read that.
Oh yeah.
Everton's a club like perfect. That's a perfect club for him.
Yeah.
Play there 2-3 years and then hopefully get the bag at another club. I think Everton's a club where he can do a job there and like become a fan favorite very quickly. Yeah. Okay. I think that's a good shout.
All right, cool. I got one more. I'm not sure if you're familiar with this, but I'll do it anyway. No card, yellow card, red card. Jermaine Jones IG lives.
He's been doing them again? He's back?
Yeah. Have you been following any of his IG lives? Like
straight air out sessions? You didn't tell me this? I
Straight
used to
air out
follow
sessions.
his. I was following him before, and then he kind of like disappeared. And then I know he brought the podcast back, but he's been recently doing these IG lives again.
Yeah.
Oh, no card. I love those. I love those. He's
He been pulling back the
brutally
curtain
honest.
like crazy.
Yeah, it's brutally honest. He let people know like what it's really like. Obviously, his approach sometimes could be a little bit different, but that's if you want to be
German,
political.
like,
Yeah,
you know,
that's if you want to be
very
political. Oh yeah, I gotta follow him now. Where's my phone at? Wow, thank you. That's the best. No card for sure. Yeah, no card at all.
All right, cool. So
yeah, thank you.
So that's it for this week. Go ahead and wrap up.
Oh yeah, all right. Sorry, I'm just so excited about that. I had to go follow real quick. Wow, IG live segments. All right, yeah. So housekeeping items. That's our show for this week. Subscribe, rate, and review. It definitely helps us get discovered. We've been jumping week after week, so we love and appreciate all you guys for supporting, especially on Twitter. There's been some good content, some good banter on Twitter. I'm gonna have to tell Elle to stop, promoting Arsenal so much. It feels like we're like an Arsenal fan page sometimes. But all jokes aside, follow us on the socials: Instagram, Twitter @2CentsFC. Tweet us your comments on the show and any topics you want me or Elle to discuss on the show. That's it. Thanks again for tuning in.
All right, peace.
Peace.